All right, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave, and we're supporting Tulsi Gabbard, and we're doing so in order to save America. That's why I call the channel what I've called it. A lot of people have asked me, are you planning on changing the name of the channel if Tulsi doesn't come through? And I'm like, I'll worry about that when the time comes. I'm not worried right now. What I'm worried about is getting Tulsi Gabbard on the debate stage. So if you haven't donated to Tulsi yet, 65,000 unique contributors are needed. I think she's about, I don't know, maybe 15,000 away right now, I would guess. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And I think she's going to make it, but we have to have all hands on deck. The media is fierce trying to keep her name out of everything, basically just to shut her down, and her videos and so forth are doing well, but she's not getting any free media assistance a la Donald Trump, who got millions of dollars in free advertising. So here's the deal with the progressive movement right now, and I'm not a progressive, but I'm watching this and I'm fascinated because the progressive movement is a little bit like the conservative movement. Like the purist side of the conservative movement and the progressive movement basically knows the corporate shills and calls them out. And this Russiagate thing is a real, it's going to put the Democratic Party in disarray. Okay, it's going to put them in disarray if the corporatists don't stop harping on obstruction or whatever is next. See, they all sat in a room. This is my theory. Okay, it's a theory. I don't know for sure. But they all sat in a room at a certain point and said, we're just going to keep throwing crap at the wall until 2020. Because even if we can't, we can't take them down, so we're just going to disrupt until 2020. That's what that whole resistance thing was about. Resist. You know how you resist? You come up with ideas. And that's why Tulsi Gabbard is a great candidate, because she's idea-driven. She's not anger-driven. And I've noticed that no matter what political persuasion you are, if you're anger-driven, you're not going to get your message across. What's going to happen is a lot of people will listen to you because they want the red meat. They want that, yeah, I'm angry too. Thanks for channeling my anger. Donald Trump, he's the worst. He's bad orange man. And, I've heard bad orange man. I voted for bad orange man. I know. And, he's got Jared Kushner running his foreign policy, or at least the Israel policy. And he's got Mike Pompeo saying a George W. Bush thing every day now. It's unbelievable what's happened to Donald Trump. And my theory with that, obviously, if you've watched other videos, is that he just decided to give up. He just gave the wheel over. Here, you guys take the wheel. Hire John Bolton? I mean, again, I say that almost every video because it just, I'm dumbfounded by that hire. But he was way better when he was on The Apprentice. Let's put it that way. He made way better hiring decisions when he was on TV. Should have stayed on TV. Could have had, the 20th season of The Apprentice or something now, and whatever. I mean, the country took a chance, and long-term, it's going to be really bad. It's because nobody's addressing the problems that need to be addressed. All the fixes he put in are, 1985 type fixes, and they worked in the 80s. And, we had some peace and prosperity for a while, but we're in a different world, and we can't be running around the world doing interventions. We're $22 trillion in debt. Okay, so I'm off track here. I want to talk about the anger versus the idea-driven politics. If progressives wake up in the morning angry, nobody's going to want to take them seriously. Conservatives used to do it when Obama was president, and I used to just laugh at them. I'm like, how many times are you going to talk about his damn birth certificate? That has nothing to do with anything. See, this was it's a very similar witch hunt, by the way. Actually, the birther thing was much less innocuous than the Russia thing, because guess what the Russia thing has done? It's made relations between us and Russia go downhill quickly. I heard somebody on TV the other day saying that, Russia and Obama didn't really get along all that well, Putin and Obama, but the whole Russiagate thing has made the relationship with Russia much worse than it was even under President Obama. You would have had, look, if Mitt Romney had won that election, his number one, remember his foreign policy? Oh, Russia is the big threat in the region. And Obama called him out on it, but Obama didn't have any intention at negotiating with Putin or anything. The next 4 years were just like stagnation. Supposedly he was supposed to have more flexibility, if you remember. He told one of Putin's aides after the election, and that didn't do any good. So there's an anger that's driven by tribalism rather than by the desire to fix our politics and get things done. I'd like to see proposals get debated. Wouldn't that be awesome? For the progressives who really want Medicare for all, for instance, I'd love to hear the debates on that because it's a fascinating idea. I don't know if it will work. I don't know how it's going to get paid for. But as they like to ask, nobody's asking how, the war in Iraq got paid for or any of these other regime change wars got paid for. But these are ideas. I'd love to hear ideas that can help people who are Americans. Remember America First? That was a great slogan, America First. It's gone. It's Israel First. Well, it's the second video I think I've said that. I think I tweeted that out. It's like, after the Golan Heights thing, I'm just like, really, how many more things can you do to just rattle the cage over there? You have a country, and they just plop down on top of another country, and then they put parts of that country in like a containment area. Look, I'm not anti-Semitic, just hear me out, but people really need to look at that issue, and Christians too need to stop with this divine Israel is God's chosen nation and so forth, because then you're not worshiping the same God, okay? And I'm not trying to be all theological here, but it makes no sense. You got a bunch of people that don't share your religious point of view. They're still waiting for their Messiah, and this is all going to work out because in this chapter over here in the Old Testament. No, it's really has nothing to do with that anymore. If they reject your God, how can they be the chosen people? I don't get that. I just don't get it. And that's why you get terms like Zionism out there. And you can be against Zionism, but not be an anti-Semite. And I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but it just irks me that we've lost America first. Now we're doing Israel first. We're doing Saudi Arabia first. We're not doing Venezuela first, but we think we are. We want Venezuela to be an extension of the United States. I don't know what we're doing there. But ideas matter. Anger matters too, but anger, after a while, if you keep hearing it, what do you want to do? You want to unplug? No, stop. We're not fixing anything. We're constantly arguing. And that's what TV news has become on every channel. It's a bunch of angry people who are mad because Donald Trump is still the president, and he will be, again, if you guys keep doing what you're doing. Because enough people are going to feel sorry for him. Enough people are going to think you guys are fake news, which you are. And it's weird coming at it from this perspective because I feel the progressives' pain. They're over there with a list of things that they want to do. Now, the conservatives who are paying attention, they don't want those progressive things. At least they recognize that there are ideas that they want to oppose. So that's the kind of debating, though, that we should have. But we don't. We don't get through that because we're too busy trying to deconstruct all of the so-called scandals that, I'm sorry, it's a nothing burger. There's nothing there. And if you want to keep pursuing it, I think the people in what I call the corporate Democrat machine, I think they do it at their own peril. Or, as Jimmy Dore likes to talk about, he thinks that they just want Trump elected again because they'd rather have Trump. And look, I voted for Trump, but I completely understand now that we need Tulsi Gabbard. We need somebody who's going to stop this military madness that just never ends. It never ends, and it's bankrupting the country. It doesn't make us safer, and our kids, our grandkids, everybody's going to suffer for decades because we just don't know when to say stop. And someone has to do something about it. I'm hoping that Tulsi Gabbard can make it to the debate stage and also to the national stage where she can convince even people like myself who would have never thought I'd be sitting here spouting off about how great Tulsi Gabbard is, because she is. Alright, so done with that video. I'll be back soon. See you then, folks.